What if I told you there were once jobs so bizarre, so puzzling, that they sound like they belong in a surreal story? These roles weren't just odd, they were essential to society in ways that seem almost impossible to grasp today. Yet, despite their importance, they faded into obscurity, swept away by the unstoppable forces of progress. Why did these professions come into existence in the first place? And what caused them to vanish without a trace? Let's dive in and get ready to be shocked in the world of crazy obsolete jobs that'll make you wonder, could any of these ever make a comeback? When we think about jobs today, we picture office work, freelancing, or maybe the hustle of retail. But what if I told you that just a couple of centuries ago, there were jobs that would sound more like a weird dream than real work? These aren't your typical jobs. Many of them served a real purpose, but were swept away by the tides of technological progress. Let's uncover the odd, forgotten world of crazy obsolete jobs. Here's the intrigue behind these vanished professions. They may seem outlandish today, but they once played crucial roles that society couldn't do without. As innovation marched on, these jobs, once essential for daily functioning, faded into obscurity. Why? What drove these seemingly indispensable roles to disappear, replaced by newer, more efficient systems? Each obsolete job was born from a specific need, a solution to a problem that people faced at the time. These roles were not just quirky relics, they represented vital functions that kept society running smoothly. As advancements emerged, these roles became obsolete, swept aside by progress. Yet, their stories linger in our curiosity, hinting at a bygone era where survival and success hinged on such peculiar occupations. The mystery remains: how did these jobs shape the world, and what does their disappearance tell us about the relentless march of change? In the heart of 19th century Cuban cigar factories, a truly extraordinary role unfolded: the Lector. While workers labored in the sweltering heat, rolling cigars with precision, the relentless monotony was broken by a figure unlike any other: the Lector. This wasn't just anyone with a book. The Lector was a masterful storyteller whose voice held the power to captivate an entire room. Imagine a figure emerging from the shadows, clutching a manuscript as the rhythmic hum of cigar production faded into the background. They read out loud, news, literature, and riveting tales, transforming the workspace into a live theater. The Lector's performance was no mere diversion. It was a lifeline of entertainment, crucial for maintaining morale and productivity. The skill required to keep hundreds of cigar rollers hooked day after day was immense, turning the Lector into an indispensable linchpin of factory life. Now, speaking of shouting, enter the Town Crier. Long before the days of social media or the evening news, Town Criers were the original information broadcasters. Decked out in a fancy outfit, they would shout out court orders or local news in town squares. Surprisingly, even though this job lost its importance with the rise of newspapers, Town Criers still pop up in parades or even competitions. Yes, there are people competing to see who can announce the loudest and clearest, complete with judgment on clarity and volume. Next up, let's take a trip back to the 19th century with the job of a lamplighter. Back before electricity lit up the streets, someone had to light the gas lamps every evening and extinguish them in the morning. Armed with a long pole, lamplighters roamed the streets, ensuring cities weren't plunged into darkness at night. And believe it or not, this job still exists in a few corners of the world. London, for example, still has lamplighters maintaining about 1,500 gas lamps. Then there's a job that sounds so surreal, it could be straight out of a time travel novel: the knocker-upper. Long before the dawn of affordable alarm clocks, people in the UK and Ireland depended on a peculiar and somewhat unsettling service to start their day. Picture this: a person with a long stick, making their rounds through darkened streets at the crack of dawn, their job being to rouse the slumbering masses from their beds by tapping on their windows. These human alarm clocks were crucial for ensuring that workers awoke on time, but the thought of someone lurking outside your window with a stick adds an eerie twist to the morning routine. This once essential role faded out with the advent of mechanical alarms in the 1970s, but for decades, it was a bizarre yet vital part of waking up to the day's challenges. And let's not forget the soda jerk, a job that once buzzed with life and excitement. In the early 20th century, soda fountains were the heartbeat of American social life, and soda jerks were their charismatic stars. These professionals weren't just servers, they were alchemists of pleasure, skillfully crafting tantalizing milkshakes and sodas with an artful mix of syrup and caffeine. This job was so crucial that at its peak, around 500,000 people in the U.S. held the title. They were the magicians behind the counter, turning ordinary days into indulgent escapes. However, the relentless march of fast food chains and shifting tastes began to cast a shadow over these once thriving establishments. As drive-ins and quick-service restaurants took over, the vibrant world of soda jerks faded into a nostalgic whisper of the past, leaving behind only echoes of their fizzy, frothy legacy. Lastly, we have the tosher, a figure whose job was as grimy as it was extraordinary. In the murky labyrinth of Victorian England sewers, toshers didn't just navigate the putrid depths, they were on a relentless quest for hidden treasures. Armed with nothing but a sturdy stick and an iron will, these sewer scavengers waded through excrement, sifting through the refuse in search of gleaming coins, forgotten silver spoons, and other valuables that had slipped through the cracks of society. This was no glamorous treasure hunt. It was a perilous and unsanitary endeavor that demanded immense bravery and resilience. The stench was overpowering and the risks were high, but for many toshers, this was a grim but necessary way to survive in an era of rapid industrial change, where the promise of a few shillings could mean the difference between starvation and survival. But of all the strange and forgotten jobs, the sagger maker's bottom knocker stands out as the most astonishing. This peculiar title belies a crucial role in the intricate world of pottery making. In the heart of England's Staffordshire, where pottery was king, sagger makers crafted protective clay containers to shield delicate ceramics from the intense heat of kilns. Enter the bottom knocker, whose job was both exacting and mysterious. Armed with a metal loop, this craftsman would meticulously knock the base of the clay into precise shape, ensuring that each sagger could withstand the kiln's fiery embrace. The process was as delicate as it was essential, with the bottom knocker's skill directly influencing the quality and success of the entire pottery batch. Without their expertise, the kilns might have failed, and the pottery industry could have faltered. Yet, as industrial advancements emerged, this unique role faded into obscurity, leaving behind only whispers of its significance. The sagger maker's bottom knocker now exists as a fascinating relic of a bygone era, a testament to the intricate craftsmanship that once defined an entire industry. From human alarm clocks to professional sewer scavengers, these crazy obsolete jobs show us just how inventive people can be when filling gaps in society. Each one, no matter how odd it seems today, had a purpose that helped move society forward until time and technology rendered them unnecessary. While it's easy to laugh at the idea of a knocker-upper or a sagger maker's bottom knocker, these jobs reveal a lot about the world before our modern conveniences. They may seem weird now, but they were once essential. And who knows, maybe one day people will look back at some of today's jobs and think the same thing. What do you think? Would you have the guts to tackle one of these bizarre, forgotten jobs? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. And don't miss out on our channel's deep dives into the extraordinary and peculiar aspects of history. Hit that like button and subscribe so you don't miss our next intriguing exploration. Stay curious and keep watching, because the next chapter of Weird awaits you.